What role do you play in developing the character you voice?
Well, they send you a little bit of information sometimes about the backstory of the character. They'll give you ideas of what they want the character to sound like, even sometimes actor references. And you help create that by finding what you have within you to sort of bring out that character. And it's pretty simple, and I guess a little bit natural. It just sort of flows usually.
What influence do you feel you have on the game?
Well, depending on the character, for instance, I'm Draven in League of Legends, and when I went into the session, they said that they wanted a big character, and basically what I kind of took out of it was, I guess you want a pro wrestler kind of guy. And so I think I had kind of a little bit of influence there, because when I went in, it was like, woo, yeah, I'm Draven, baby. So there was a lot of that where they were like, yes, we think you have figured out exactly where we want to go with this. So, I mean, there's a lot of a coordination amongst the parties, I guess, is a good way to put it. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
What is the most difficult aspect of voicing video game characters?
Embodying the full character. Many people have a funny voice that they do, and they forget that you not only want to do that funny voice for a couple of lines, but you want to do the voice, you want to embody the full character, so they have to be happy, they have to be sad, they have to be everything, and you have to think about that ahead of time so that when and if the line comes up where they're like, well, now you're a little more introspective. Oh, I never should have done that. You know, you have to think about what it is and how he's going to sound when he does that, whatever that character is, he or she for that matter.
What is your favorite part about voice acting for video games?
I don't know what I love being in the booth. I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite the same. I'm a musician, and I do lead singing for a band, and there's definitely that rush you get of being out there in front of a crowd and stuff and singing, but it's similar when you're in the booth, because you're like, you're this character, you've come in here, now you're in the booth and you're ready to do this, and you start throwing it out there. It's to me, that's the moments that I really love, is being in the booth and doing the work. Obviously, I guess second place would be the actual work that you're doing when you're building up to getting that character in place. Specifically, an example would be, I am also Jax in League of Legends. And with Jax, they wanted a guy who was maybe a little tinge of sort of like, yeah, that swagger. And so I immediately thought of Patrick Warburton, who wants a piece of the champ, and then they said, well, they want him to be a little meaner, so I just built him up. And pretty soon it turned into, who wants a piece of the champ, so. But yeah, you start with little things, and those are all the ingredients for the soup that you make.
How do you feel about being a voice actor in such a globally famous game?
I love it. It's amazing. To be honest with you, when I recorded the first character that I did, I had no idea what the game would be. We get these scripts, we get this little bit of information about the character, but you don't know how big this game will be. For all you know, 5 people will play it, and that's it. But in this case, it was great because I did it. I walked away. I thought, well, who knows, And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, we found out it was one of the biggest games in the world, and we were like, well, now I'm thrilled to be a member of this honored group of champs. So yeah, absolutely, it's pretty amazing.